Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? Me? Well, to be honest, I am feeling the pressure of being a solopreneur. The pressure that I'm feeling is social pressure coming from social media. You know, in this day and age, you've got the Twitter, you got the LinkedIn, you got the Facebook, you got the Instagram, I've got the YouTube channel happening, there's email. There's all of these different social channels that I am expected to engage in if I'm to be an online personality. And to be honest, I'm slipping. I'm slipping badly because I've designated the YouTube channel, Google Plus, I left out Google Plus, as the main social channel that I want to engage and talk to my community. But people are all over the map. They're in all of these other spaces. I have to be in all of the other spaces. Now, I do use a social media dashboard, which helps me publish to those spaces, but it doesn't make me a good socially engaged individual because it's difficult. I find it difficult to manage conversations using a social media dashboard, in my case, in using Hootsuite. So I've been looking for a tool to help me engage more effortlessly and more conversationally with my communities. I think I may have found it. What is it? Stick around because we're taking a look at AgoraPulse today on Dotto Tech. Now, here is the challenge that so many of us face, is we're being stretched to the breaking point of all of these different important social networks that we need to be engaged in, we need to be involved in, but we just don't have time for. Our bandwidth is limited, and the appetite for conversation and content on these social networks is voracious. So to help me out an awful lot, I use the premium version, the pro version of Hootsuite. Now, Hootsuite is my social dashboard, and it combines my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Twitter account, and it pulls them all into one place and allows me to manage them in a variety of different ways, and especially allows me to manage posts and to plan posts and to do research. It's a great tool for all of those things, and we've shown it to you in the past. And if you take a look, there'll be a link here to using Hootsuite where I walk through chapter and verse how I use Hootsuite, and I do like Hootsuite. What I'm going to show you today is not, in my mind, a replacement for Hootsuite. Although the company does position itself as a competitor to Hootsuite, in my mind, it's not. In my mind, it's a complementary product to Hootsuite. So here is where Hootsuite comes up short for me. Conversations. Here's all the places that my handle is mentioned. This is just in Twitter. So here's all the places that the mentions of Dotto Tech. Now, what I've done in the past is try to stay ahead by going through each of these and reading exactly what's been said and then replying. So I have to hover my mouse over the top and then hit reply, and out pops a little dialog box that allows me to reply, and I go through and reply. But this interface here is not conducive to managing a conversation because the way it threads the conversations, I lose track quite easily, and I end up missing a lot of important conversations, and I end up wasting a lot of time looking for important conversations. So this alone is what I consider to be a big weakness. You know, in your email software, you've got different management techniques and also software technology that's built into the software to help you manage your inbox. That's what AgoraPulse brings to the table. So this is AgoraPulse. It is it's a social dashboard, a social media management tool. It does some of the same things that we would use a Hootsuite or a TweetDeck or another tool like that for, but it does so in a very, very nice, very email-looking interface, and I like this. So once I've signed up, I've just signed up for the account here. Once you've signed up for AgoraPulse, you have your main social streams available to you, in this case, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And right away in the homepage, you see how different it looks than the streams that we saw in Hootsuite. So rather than a cacophony of information all flowing by rapidly, instead we've got little containers for our Facebook, for Twitter, and for Instagram. And these containers really are just dealing with almost like an email inbox. And I'm going to show you Twitter. This is how I am discovering that I can finally get control and actually engage in conversations in Twitter. When I click on my account in the dashboard, in the main menu, it brings me into the Twitter dashboard, and they do an awful lot of analytics for us. So they're tracking how many followers we have, how much engagement we have, and these statistics are very valuable, especially in the Facebook world. When we look at the Facebook account, there's some really nice statistics about growth, so we have an idea overall of how our channel is doing. But for me, the real value for this application comes just from this one tool right here, the inbox. Most of the other things I'm pretty comfortable doing in Hootsuite, scheduling posts, doing research, that sort of stuff. But as I mentioned, not having conversations. Here, we can see conversations that these are the only ones that I haven't responded to now. I'm actually on top of, I have inbox 0 for my Twitter account for the first time, maybe in history. So here's how it works now. If Josh has just said something nice about the videos and actually, it's a conversation. So I click on it, I see the entire thread of the conversation. If I want to reply, I just click here and reply. So this is just like using an email client. Of course, we don't need a full email window because we're limited by the number of characters that we have in Twitter, but we've got all the basic communication tools for being able to mark it as viewed, flag it, retweet it, make it a favorite. We've got all of that, plus the ability to instantly reply, attach an image if we want, all of the basic things that we need. Now, this is using it as a solopreneur, as by myself. If I was part of a team environment, I could take this and I could flag it and basically assign it to another team member for them to respond to. So theoretically, if you use a tool like this properly, no messages are going to slip through the cracks that are coming in these rapid form social networks. The flow of Twitter now I can keep up with because I'm dealing with it like it's an email, even to the term of calling it an inbox. I can choose what sort of messages appear, which ones I want to be alerted to, and when I engage in a conversation, I've got a conversation management tool that allows me to properly have the conversation. I feel a lot more in control. I don't feel lost. And the nicest thing is I don't feel like I'm missing out on things. I feel like I'm, for the first time, kind of on top of the pile as far as Twitter, instead of having it piling on top of me. So that's AgoraPulse in Twitter. Let's go back to the homepage for a moment. And let's take a look at the same thing, but now in Facebook. And again, remember how I said it gives you different statistics in Facebook? So it gives you some different kind of analytics of what's happening with my Facebook account. But the same thing, I've got an inbox that has all of the posts, all of the different people that have posted on my different Facebook posts. So I can monitor the conversation and I can reply right back, right from this dashboard right here. When I click on it, I'm brought into the same email message. But look, it gives me the post that it's based on as well. So I have context as I work. Very nice. I'm starting to rely on this, and it's now becoming the place that I go to engage in all of these conversations. Now, they also have, if we go back to the dashboard, they show it here? That's down the side here. They've also got apps and other things that you can install. So if you're running contests in Facebook and some of the other things that you might be using a third-party service for, like a WooBox or something like that, you can create contests and apps using it as well. Those are all very good things. They aren't things that I would purchase this product to do or sign a license for this product to do. For me, the communications is the number one factor, is the number one benefit, but it does have some other benefits which are, if you're interested in it, are well worth having a look at. It does the same thing, even though the conversations are a little bit slower and not quite as intense in Instagram, and they're still kind of working out the whole Instagram program, but I know that I'll use it in Instagram here. So I've got one message in my inbox. So again, I click on that message, and I can see which post, which Instagram, in this case, it was a little Instagram video that I put up. So I have the context of what the comment is, and I'm able to reply back again in Instagram. And in Instagram, I like this even better because I don't really like having conversations even in the Instagram app. I get a little bit lost. Here, once again, an email type interface allowing me to manage my Instagram account. So how much does AgoraPulse cost? If you purchase it, if you sign a license, you can try it out for free. So there's a free trial of, I think, 30 days or something around that, 20 or 30 days. But the small business or the single kind of the solopreneur version is $29 a month, which allows one each of Facebook, LinkedIn, or Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. I think a lot of people will end up in the small account, which is $49 a month. It might seem a little bit dear, but the bottom line is, if you use it for a month, test it out, see how much time it saves you, and see how much what the opportunity cost is that you might be losing by missing out on these engagement, these opportunities. And if it does increase your social media game without increasing the amount of time you need to spend in social media, then it's probably well worth the money. Certainly once you start getting into small businesses, the price kind of comes down per user and becomes a little bit more effective as far as that goes. Overall, I think AgoraPulse is definitely worth a look at. As I say, they consider that they might be an alternative to Hootsuite. I don't really look at them as an alternative to Hootsuite. Hootsuite still, for me, is the main management tool for communications going out, for broadcast type communications and for research. What AgoraPulse does is it now manages my social media conversations. I hope you found today's video to be useful. Remember, there's 3 ways to stay in touch with us here on Dotto Tech. The first, subscribe to this channel. Secondly, subscribe to our newsletter and learn about all of our great upcoming live events. And finally, Dotto Tech is a community-funded service through the crowdfunding site Patreon. I encourage you to drop by our Patreon page, have a look, and learn what perks are included in Dotto Tech. The perks are indeed amazing. Till next time, I am Steve Dotto. Have fun storming the castle.